and good evening. As usual, we kick off Sacred Space with an open space to just kind of connect with one another. So everyone who's here now has had just a couple of minutes to step in and say hello. I open this room usually about 10 till 6 Mountain Time, so that there's an opportunity for us to say hello before we start going into the actual whatever the teaching is for the evening. And it's a nice way for us to just kind of have that community feeling and get to know each other. So if you are here live, thank you for the gift of your time. And if you're watching this recorded, then thank you again for the gift of your time at another time. We mention every time we get together that this is sacred space, and that in the same way that I'm inviting you into my sacred space right here in my home, I am in my home, that you are inviting me into your home. And if I take a minute, or you take a minute, and we actually look at where we are, we can see that kind of third dimensional feeling that allows us to step into each other's sacred space. And that's such a powerful thing, that we can be together in each other's homes all at once, and that we're doing it across this energy field that we think of kind of as a screen. But when we actually give it dimension and intention, then we recognize how amazing it is that we can all be together in each other's sacred space. I have this tent that we got for our youngest son. He wanted to do a big camping trip for his senior graduation from high school. And we got one of those big, massive tents that has like 8 rooms in a circle. So, everybody could sleep in one tent, and they had kind of an open room in the middle. And I often think about that when I'm here with you, that it's kind of all of our rooms, all of our space circled up to create this kind of temple that is built by the energy of everyone who shows up on any specific night. And I just love the gift of that. I love the gift of having this time with you and this space with you. So sacred space is an opportunity for us to talk about something for just a short period of time, maybe do a little guided meditation, and just have a middle of the week kind of pick up, spiritual pick up, to keep us on track. And what's on my mind tonight is that we are 1 week from today, 1 week away from spring. I know, we're all happy, right? Spring is coming, yay. If you're in Colorado, we are awaiting a big snowstorm right now. It's expected overnight and into tomorrow, and I've been seeing already cancellations. And of course, I was laughing that happens, because just because they say we're getting a snowstorm does not mean we're really going to get one. We'll have to see if we get snow or not. But no matter how it goes, we are still 1 week away from spring. And it's easy for us to be thinking about spring, for us to really have our focus on, oh, it's going to be time to plant and I can get out my warmer clothes and Easter will be here. And there are all kinds of things we can do in the warmer weather. And like you, I'm as excited as you are about spring arriving. I also am a little stunned. I'm a little stunned that winter is nearly over, at least officially. Winter is nearly over and we are almost in spring. And there are some things that I love about winter. And there may be things that you love about winter too. So I want us to take a moment, knowing that next Tuesday will come. Spring hits next Tuesday, the 19th at 9:05 Mountain Time. 9:05 p.m. Mountain Time. So between now and then, we're completing winter. And we've talked a lot about winter, but I want to recap what the work of winter is with this whole week ahead of you to think about it. So we are in the season of winter, wrapping up the season of winter, and winter is a time of rest, a time of reflection, and a time of rejuvenation. So it's a good time to ask yourself, did you do any resting? Did you actually give yourself time to be introspective? What did you reflect on from last year? So a lot of times what happens for us in winter is that we reflect back and we set for January 1 our New Year's resolutions. In the middle of winter, when everything is frozen and nothing is growing, we create our New Year's resolutions, and then we wonder when spring gets here why nothing has happened yet. Right? So when you were reflecting on New Year's resolutions, on what you wanted to bring into the new year, what kind of things were you thinking about? Maybe you were thinking of a change in jobs, or a change in home, or a change in relationship, or a personal change in the way you live your life. Maybe you wanted to eat better or drink more water, or maybe you wanted to spend more spiritual time doing what really inspires you. Maybe there was a class you wanted to take, or someone that you wanted to get together with, even a long distance coffee over Zoom, right? Someone you wanted to connect with in the kind of introspective time. What was it that you noticed during the dream time? Because as we move away from the holidays and into January and February, we're in what is referred to as the dream time of the year. We're in the dark of winter. We're still very contemplative, and we're quiet because we've had winter for a while. The process of winter has been going on for a while. We went into fall and we let go of things, and then we went into winter and we got really inward looking, and then we start to have dreams. And some of those dreams are the kind that come in the middle of the night, that are prophetic, that don't really necessarily have a warning. They're dreams that just show up. But more often, those dreams are real thoughts about what it is that would make life feel better to you. What you could do that would be an improvement for yourself or someone you love, or maybe yourself and someone you love. So these are things that I want to invite you to reflect on before we get to spring next year and next week. In that reflection, you might want to take some notes. You might want to journal a little bit. What happened for you in the winter? What kind of experience did you have this winter? Was it quieter than you wanted it to be? Or was it louder than you wanted it to be? We all have losses. Losses happen. They don't have a season. They happen all the time. Did you experience a loss during the winter? Did you experience a gain during the winter? What are your amazing memories of winter this year? And what would you have rather slid away from you and didn't actually happen? Because all those things are where our lessons are. They're where we learn and grow and expand and become. This next week, giving yourself some time to rest is important. Find a place, find a time, take a nap. Decide not to do something that you think you must do. Give yourself an intentional period of rest, because when the energy of spring comes, it pulls us out into the light. We feel it. Suddenly we want to get up in the morning. We want to get up out of bed. There must be something to do, because as the light increases, we are growing beings and we respond to the light and we get pulled out and into action. And if you are rested, you will be ready. You'll be more open. You'll be able to move that energy. You're already feeling some of it. So if you think about those little seeds under the soil, the ones that are getting really soft now because we keep getting these snowfalls and then the snow melts and whatever is down there kind of softens up and gets ready to pop open so that life can come out again. When it comes out in the dark. But something is pulling it. The warmth of the sun pulls it up and out and into blossom. So whatever little bit of rest you can gain this week will help you to be prepared as we move into the season of spring. It comes fast. The light returns very quickly. And after next Tuesday, the days will be longer than the night. And that's a pretty amazing thing. You will have more pull. So I invite you to just close your eyes for a minute. Just breathe into your body, into your wintering body, into your resting body, into the body that is rejuvenating. And allow yourself to notice, are there areas of tension? Places that you haven't quite explored during the time of reflection? In the tenderest, tense aspects of our body, there are messages for us. If you notice tension in your shoulders, tension in your hips, or tension in your knees, or soreness in your feet, or a need to stretch out and open up, just notice where your body is speaking to you. There are somatic messages there that come in ways that are not words. They're feelings and knowings. So notice where your body has feelings with no judgment about right or wrong, but simply awareness. There are 70 trillion cells in your body. You are a universe. And each of those cells has its own voice, its own awareness, its own job and purpose, its way of communicating with you. What aspect of you is asking for your intention while you are turning inward? Allow your body, your whole being, to tell you what it needs to be strong for spring. Don't second guess whatever thought pops into your mind. Just know that what you think and what your body thinks are sometimes different things. What does your body need right now at this time to be ready for spring? Remember what came to mind. And allow yourself to check in on your emotions, to notice what emotion pops up that needs your attention and awareness. If you check in on your emotional body, what emotion is asking for attention? That emotion perhaps can be processed through journaling, perhaps through writing, perhaps through speaking with a friend or someone that you know well. Perhaps it's just an awareness. Allow your emotional body to have a little bit of your attention. Notice what your mental body tells you. What thought is there that hasn't been processed? Perhaps you want to work through a project. Perhaps there's a plan to make for something. Perhaps you simply have been avoiding thinking about something that you don't want to think about. While we are in the introspective time, notice what is in your mental body that might need a little of your attention. Just remember that thing, that thought, that process. And notice also your spiritual body. The blessings of the time of introspection is that we have time to contemplate, that a candle or some incense or a bell, a chime, that those items are easier to access and turn into in the time of introspection. Very deeply meaningful for us. What does your spiritual body want before we look outward? What would be good for you, for your spiritual body? Maybe it's an essential oil, a sound, a piece of music, a favorite tea, something that moves your heart and your soul. Just notice and remember. If you're ready, gently open your eyes. And if you have paper in front of you, take a minute and write down those things that have been shared with you. What your physical body wants and needs. What your emotional body wants and needs. What your mental body wants and needs. And what your spiritual body wants and needs in this week that we have left during the time of introspection, when we are longer in the dark than in the light. Write those things down. And as you move away from this session tonight, think about the gift you can give to yourself, being present to those things, those practices and ideas and concepts that have come to you that will allow you to be intentional about wrapping up your season of winter. And as you do that, remember gratitude. Remember that gratitude for this season of darkness is so powerful. We will not be in winter again until the 21st of December. It will be a long time before we reach winter again. And winter brings very unique blessings and gifts to us. So allow yourself to have the gift of this week. One more week of wintering, one more period of time to look inward. It's a tremendous gift. That looking inward is a tremendous gift. We find insights that we don't find at other times during the year. So I invite you to give yourself that gift. Be very intentional about wintering a little bit longer. And know that spring will come in its time and it will bring its own blessings. And we'll talk about those when we get there. But this last intentional week we'll spend with ourselves and our own hearts and our deep knowings. I am always so grateful for the gift of your time here, for the gift of your sacred space, the sacred space that we share and co-create every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you're watching the replay of this, coming in as a special experience. We connect in a very powerful way with one another, and we stay afterwards and converse. And you are, of course, always welcome to do that. And if you come in and you come in live and you have something else you have to do, that's completely fine too. But you're always invited to come in and share in this sacred space with us. And if you are here live, you know that I love you. I love you. I'm grateful for you. There is something about making time for sacred space and having it on the calendar and seeing the other people live in this space. We come in from all over the world, obviously all over the United States, but often as far away as Australia. And we come into this space with one another as though we were in the same room, because we are in the same room. It's just a different kind of room. And I am grateful for all of you, grateful for our time. And I look forward to seeing you when we gather again in the spring next week in Sacred Space. I'll see you then.